We are the shepherds with our sheep. And this week, we invite you to colour us in so that we can be added to your manger scene.
We were some of the first people to hear the news of Jesus' birth.
People didn't really have a lot of time for shepherds in those days. We often slept rough out in the fields and weren't very welcome when we came into the towns. But God chose us to be the first people to know. God chose us to visit Mary, Joseph and the baby so they would not feel alone and forgotten.
So, as you include us, perhaps you can remember that God's love includes everyone. You might want to think about people around you who might be alone and forgotten at the moment, and what you might be able to do to make sure they're not left out. Maybe you could talk about that as you colour us in together.
And as you add the shepherds to the scene, you can also colour and add the star. Jesus, the light of the world, has called each of us to be a light in the places that we live.
Shepherds lying on a hill, the night was silent, all was still. They watched their flock of grazing sheep and tried hard not to fall asleep. When bright and white an angel came to light the night, a fiery flame. The shepherds trembled where they lay. The angel said, "Don't be afraid."
Sing praise to God.
Sing praise to God.
And give Him glory.
Give Him glory.
And celebrate.
And celebrate
His wondrous story.
His wondrous story
Of love and joy.
of love and joy
And peace to men. For it begins in Bethlehem. The news is good, the news I bring. Good news to make you leap and sing. Good news for people everywhere. Good news of joy for all to share. Good news for God has kept His word. Sent the Savior, Christ the Lord. The one He promised He would send is born this day in Bethlehem. Sing praise to God and give Him glory and celebrate His wondrous story of love and joy, of peace to men. For it begins in Bethlehem. And this will be a sign for you. This is how you'll know it's true. You find the baby wrapped in cloth, sleeping in a cattle trough. The angel then was joined by more, 6 and 12 and 24, and then too many more to number. Heaven choir, loud as thunder. Sing praise to God and give Him glory and celebrate His wondrous story of love and joy and peace to men. For it begins in Bethlehem.
he'd come without a trace, except for all they sang and said, which echoed in the shepherds' heads. Let's go to Bethlehem and see the shepherds all as one.